All right, welcome back. We are going to do another tutorial here with Procreate, and this time I'm actually going to do a top 10 things that you may or may not know about Procreate that might, give you a little extra boost of time, or something you may not have ever seen before. You may have seen some of these, but I thought it would be fun to do one of these because I always love when I discover something new about Procreate. All right, so the first one is drawing straight lines. Now I have quite the reflection here, so I'm hoping I can see pretty well. I'm going to choose, let's see, I'm going to choose just my Durango brush here. Now normally if I'm going to draw with it, it's, you get a curvy line because that's what drawing is all about, right? But if you want to create a straight line, which you may have seen in my, my flat shadows tutorial, is creating a straight line, which is really easy, especially if you're trying to draw straight lines for houses or architectural designs, or if you need to create guidelines for your lettering. You basically are going to take the pen and you're going to start to draw a little bit, hold down, and you'll see at the top up there, if you saw that up there, that it all of a sudden it changes, and so now you have a straight line that you can drag around and drop wherever you want. So once again, let's just do that. So you're drawing, you kind of hold down, and then it turns into a straight line that you can drag. And like I said, this is great for if you want to create, guidelines or something. Because if you were just draw regular, you're going to get more of a, kind of squiggly line. But this is a great way to do that and get more straight lines. And one of the tools I like to use when I'm doing something like that is the technical pencil, which I have such a glare here. I'm going to stand to do it. And I like to use this HB pencil, especially if I'm creating some guidelines, because then I can come in, hold it straight down, and get a nice kind of rough sketch that I could do on its own layer. And again, this is great for if you're trying to create guides to practice some letters or get things straight. All right, that's number one. Okay, number two. So the number two item that I wanted to show you is, a lot of people think that you have to be super great and steady-handed to draw things in here, but that's not true. So with brush lettering, this becomes such a game changer for us. It's called streamlining. And when you click on the brush tool, and so let's say we're in, you've downloaded a brush from somebody and they don't have streamlining turned on. And again, I cannot see. I'm gonna have to close this window. I was trying to give myself some more light, but it's just not working very well for me. Let's just say this one. So if I were to double click and open it, this is how you can edit the brush itself. There's a lot of different things you can do with the brush to make it fit you better. But if you were to come over here where it says stroke, and then look right here, you'll see streamline. If it's turned down when you're drawing, see how my line just isn't very smooth? And if you're trying to brush letter, I mean, it looks just like what you would do if you were signing your name on those credit card machines at, Target or something. But the opportunity to come in here and click on that and bring that streamline up is going to streamline that stroke. So now I'm getting a really pretty smoother stroke. And now every brush isn't the same, so you're going to want to play with that tool to fit your particular needs. And that is streamlining. All right, so number three is the three-fingered copy and paste. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I really love this. So a lot of times when I'm starting out with a drawing or something, I might draw it normally with black and say I want to add some gradations to it and I need to copy it. It's really cool. If you take three fingers and you drag down, hold on, you got to close your layer palette. There you go. You're going to get a cut, copy, paste, and that's going to save you a lot of time, but it has to be on the layer you want to use. So this is number three. If I were to copy that and then paste it, you'll see now I have my second one here. And so now what I could do is bring it up above and get like a cool, little double line effect. Or if you're trying to do drop shadows, setting it behind it and reducing the opacity is another thing you could do with that. So that is the third tip, and that is our copy paste with the three-fingered approach. All right, number 4 is how to merge layers together, which is really cool. And again, a lot of times I work in layers as I'm working on things. You know, I may start out with a solid color, and then I'm going to come in and I'll probably add some shadow, and then I might bring in some more shadow, and then I start adding some decoration. And other lines like that. So my designs end up being, you know, built this way, and say I want to merge them together. All I gotta do is click my fingers on both the top and bottom layers and drag them together, and it merges them all together into one layer. So then I could copy and paste this into another project, but be careful when doing that, because you want to make sure that you're finalized and you're happy with everything and you haven't messed up your layers. Sometimes I recommend doing it, making a duplicate copy of your original work, so you don't have the loss of those layered files. But that's a really cool feature there, especially if you're creating a lot of layers and you need to merge some things together. 5, automatic selecting. So this is a really cool feature as well. Basically, when you click on the select tool up here at the bottom, you're going to get a couple different things. You're going to get the freehand tool, which allows you to take your pencil, come in, you know, and select around something, and then copy and paste that to a new layer or make some sort of change to it. But there's also what we call the automatic. So if I were to click on automatic, of course, let's make sure I'm on the right layer. I want to click on this one. Say I want to select all of the white. I could choose the automatic and click on it, and it's going to apply, say, like the color to that, and fill different things. So you have to be careful where you're selecting and where you're not selecting, or it's just going to kind of change some things up. So it has its place, and it's a nice feature for once in a while when you might need something like that. So that is our number 5 tip for Procreate. All right, so number 6 is going to be selecting a color from a photo. So I've done this before in the creating your own custom palettes, and instead of opening another photo, I'm just going to choose colors from here. So say this was a photo I had, or if you wanted to take a picture and do it, you could. Let me just show you that. So I'm going to come in, yeah. So this was a donut lettering thing I did for National Donut Day. And what I could do, I'm going to turn off my lettering here and just use this bottom one here. But what I could do here now is select colors from this to use in my custom color palette. And to do that, you're just going to click on the little icon here that's between these 2 sliders, and it's going to give you a ring. And this is the color selector. So I can select it around any colors. I can go over the pink. I could go, whoops, I lost it there. Yeah, I can go over the pink. I could kind of come in and get an orange color, and you'll notice that it applies the color up here. And that just gives me an option to have something that matches my photo, which is a lot of fun. So say you want to, you know, doodle over photos or something like that, you could. And gives you something kind of different to play with. So that is selecting colors from photographs to match and get more cohesive coloring. That is number 6. All right, number 7 is filling with dragging your color swatch. So let's say you've got some shapes that you've drawn, or you're drawing a house and you're doing all the outlines first, and then you need to fill in things. You can come in here, and let's say we choose like this blue as our color. You're going to want to come up here to the top now and take this and drag it to where it goes. Hello, I don't know why I didn't select it. And it will fill in these spots. Okay, but see now how this particular drawing has an opening in it, right? So if I were to click on that to drag that in, it's going to fill the whole thing because it's going outside of that opening. So it's always important that when you're doing this that you make sure your shapes are closed carefully, and then you can actually apply color by simply dragging color palette swatches to the different designs. All right, so the number 8 tip is selecting the previous color from your iPad. So say we were doing this and we worked with green first, then pink. And say I had pink as my selected choice up here, and I drag it in here and I want to make this one pink. But say I want this one to be green, but I don't want it to go back and select it. If I hold down on this, it's actually going to change the color back to the previous color that I used. And for some reason it's blue. I don't know why. Yeah, so if you hold down on it, you'll notice it goes back and forth from the previous color. So there's pink. The last one we just used was blue. I guess that's because I did blue and then pink. I don't remember. But anyways, you get the point, right? So you can actually do that very easily without having to go in and open up your color palette, select your color, and then go in. You could actually just quickly hold down and change the color so that it matches the last particular one that you used. All right, so we're going to talk about our 10th tip for Procreate, and that is the alpha lock so that we can edit a layer. So say we want to apply like gradients to a particular layer. It's really easy to do. What we're going to do is take the layer where we have the lettering or a drawing or something, say you want to add shadows or whatever, and we're going to take 2 fingers, drag it, and that's going to make that icon change slightly. I don't know if you can see it from where you are, but it has. And so with a gradient brush in a different color, I can now come in and apply it, and look, it only goes on where I have my alpha lock on that particular layer, and it doesn't apply anywhere else. So that's a pretty useful tool as well, and I really love that one. That does make it a lot easier applying gradients to your brush lettering. All right, and I have one more bonus item for you. If you've never used the time-lapse replay, you might want to check it out. It's a lot of fun. These are fun things to throw up on Instagram once in a while. The faster you work, the shorter the video, because it's really fast. There's no way to slow it down, but it's really easy. So say you've just finished your project. If you click on the little wrench icon here and go to Video tab, you'll see these options here. Now you need to have it turned on before you actually can play it. So if you don't have it already turned on, do that and then do your work. But once you've done that, you can click on the time-lapse replay. And look, how fun is that? All right, those are my top 10 tips for Procreate, and one bonus item just for you. I will see you guys next week.